Are the 49ers better right now than they were when 2022 ended?
Yes, I would say yes, because I think we could just go right into the Hargrave signing because I think that's where that answer comes from for me. I think this makes their defense so much better that it's going to have trickle down effects to other sides as well. You know, the secondary, of course, as we know, and it'll help the offense too, I think. I mean, Hargrave, he's an absolute beast. He had 57 pressures last year. To put that into perspective, Eric Armstead had 20, who we love Eric Armstead, right? And you know, we talk about the impact that he has on this defensive line. 20 pressures last year. Givens 13, McGill 10, Ridgeway 8. Ridgeway's gone, by the way. I believe he went to the Texans, right? So
Yep.
good for him. I wanted him back, but it makes sense to not bring him back after you get a guy like Hargrave. You don't need much anything else after that. So you get my point. This acquisition, I think, makes the 49ers leaps and bounds better. You know, I think this is maybe the best that we've seen this defensive line be in the Shanahan era, right? Just on paper, right? Can I say that?
Interesting. I don't know, because who you putting? I would argue right now, 2019, with Buckner in the middle and a somewhat healthy D Ford on the other side, is better. But I think that's what the Niners are trying to get back to with this. They
Yeah.
realized we were not getting enough push up the middle. And you said it, but I just want to go back to it because it's stunning to me. The top 3 interior pass rushers for the 49ers last year had 47 combined pressures. Hargrave had 57 by himself.
That's
That's
wild.
a massive upgrade.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and don't even get me started on the actual contract. Because Parag, what was he cooking? The deal includes 2 void years, and his cap hit in 2023 is just 6.6 million. That's a steal. Also, you got to think about the fact that Hargrave has been healthy a lot. I think in the last 7 years, he's only missed 2 games due to injury. That is something the 49ers would welcome any freaking day, and they have it now. So I think it's worth it for them. In the last 2 seasons, he has 118 pressures, 19 sacks, 62 stops. So he's a mauler in the run game as well. 19.3% win rate. His 14.1% pressure rate is he's the highest of any defensive tackle. He's the only one over 12%. So we wanted Daron Payne. You know, me and Jay talked about it a couple weeks ago. That would have been like our dream free agent signing. I kind of take that back now. I mean, if I knew we could have had Hargrave the whole time, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy. And they did the signing right out of the gate, which I am also happy with. We didn't have to wait for it. It seemed like the 49ers didn't even have to really compete with anyone for it. I think the rumor was that the Browns were another team that were interested. And, you know, I think the rumor was that the Browns might have offered him a little bit more, but he went to the 49ers. You know, so I think that says a lot about, you know, how he feels about this team and where they could be going next. If you get my drift.
Absolutely. I think that the Niners realized that Javon Kinlaw was a miss. And when you miss in the
Yeah.
draft, you pay in free agency. That's just how it works. Teams would much prefer to hit on their draft picks because they're cheaper. Niners, it didn't work out with Kinlaw. And maybe it was all due to the knee, and he was never able to fully show the potential that he had, but they couldn't wait on him anymore. They absolutely had to upgrade in the middle of that defense. They did that now with Hargrave in a massive way. And if you want to be a skeptic and say, well, he was surrounded by talent in Philadelphia and that's why he looks so good. Well, guess what? He's still surrounded by talent. So I don't see any downside to this signing. You mentioned the structure of the deal. It's fantastic. And it works if the Niners stick with Purdy, obviously, and it works if the Niners stick with Lance, because it's really only a 2-year deal, essentially. Both of those guys are going to be on their rookie deals. Niners are taking advantage of that, which is exactly what they should do, especially if it's Brock, because you'll never have a quarterback on a cheaper deal than what Brock Purdy is playing on right now. So this is just smart team building by the Niners.